My queen, always great having the chance to speak with you. Right off the top, I have to ask you this. During one of the great celebrations that happens in Toronto, Pride, which you were involved with and you looked amazing,
Thank you.
but I see you post a video of some clown saying something to you who I wish I was there because if I was there with you, trust me, I'd be crossing the street and you'd have a lot more to video than just what you did. What exactly happened and what the hell did this dumbass say?
Yeah, that was very interesting. Probably the one of the biggest downsides of Pride, but it didn't take away, first of all, from the festivities. So that was good. But yeah, on the Sunday, me and a group of friends, like we left the Pride parade. And I guess it was kind of obvious from some of the attire that we were wearing that we had been there, just like some of like our accessories and stuff. So it was like a group of five of us. We were split like two, two, and one who was actually across the street. And so I was with a friend. I looked ahead and I saw this guy who was a white guy, and he was interacting with two of my friends up ahead. And I just assumed it was a friendly interaction, like didn't really overthink it. Kind of like was still in my conversation. And when I like peeked back, I saw like my friend sort of disengage with him, like, have a nice day. Like whatever he said, they were like not into it. So that's fine, I suppose. But then like he casually like put his hands in his pockets and like he was coming towards us as my friends were continuing this way. We're obviously continuing that way. And he sort of like turned to follow them. But it was very odd. Like he like calculated if he should. He like it was odd. He was like thinking about it, but he didn't realize that we were with them. And so I immediately went into, kind of like protector mode. And I was like, my guy, like, why are you following my friends? And I kind of started approaching him. And at first he like didn't turn around or interact with me. And I was speaking pretty loudly. So I think he was trying to gather his thoughts. And I said it again. And then he turned back and was like, oh, I'm not following them. I was going this way. But the same thing goes for you. Trans? Are you trans? Are you a man or woman? Do you like men or women? Like he just started throwing this stuff in my face, which I later learned was what he was saying to my friends. And at first they didn't understand what he was saying. And then when they realized he was trying to be condescending or conflicting, that's when they disengaged. So yeah, he said the same thing to me. And yeah, I won't say everything about how I handled it. Like, I didn't do anything too bad, but I surely like stood up for my friends and created an energy that did create a distance between us. That then led to me being us being on one side of the street and then him being on the other side of the street. I think was that I was just my energy was very much like this will be the problem that you don't want if you want to keep going in this route. And I wonder what would have happened if like I wasn't there because just in the breakup of the group, you have like five, like four like feminine presenting people and then me. And I definitely felt like me taking up that space was like almost taking up, not that I'm not a woman, but it was taking up a role that like I think made it a bit harder for him to maybe do whatever he would have done if I wasn't there. And like I wish you were there, Rudy, because it would have been different.
Oh,
It would have been different. But
yes.
I still feel like I'm glad that nothing happened. But where the video picked up was I think where like after me and him were kind of yelling at each other, like he kind of separated from me, but then he continued to chastise across the street. That's when you see the video pick up. And that's the end. That's kind of like the least aggressive part of the interaction because that's when I guess everyone was like safe enough to feel that they could record. But it was very off-putting to see somebody walking around, like for context, like it's just a man walking around on Pride Sunday at like 6 p.m. and like by himself in what looked like hotel slippers. He surely looked lone and lonely. And he for sure like went and picked a fight. So it's like hard to it's like it's a bit scary because it's like what was your intention on stepping out today? Like you obviously don't like what this day represents and the people that are celebrating it, and yet you choose to come out here to do what? So I think that was just a wake up call for me of like I was surprised and like how direct it was as like a black woman from Canada, like dealing with a lot of adversities. This was uniquely in our faces at like my adult age. So I think that was just a bit like, oh wow, like you still have to defend yourself like this or be aware that people might behave like this. So that's kind of what happened there.
I'll tell you straight up. I'm as we speak, I'm turning 61. I still have nonsense being thrown at me for skin color or whatever else. So it blows me away. Have we identified this person? Because as we speak, the video picture of him is going to be up in this interview.
Oh, I mean, we haven't put it up.
Yeah.
he's lucky that I have not, or none of the us parties have like felt the need to like go out of our way to like get his contact information. I think that the posting is public enough. Like I'm not protecting his identity, but I haven't taken like extra steps to utilize that video to find him. I'm sure that I could. Um, I guess I'm hoping that like whatever is reaching him, the backlash from it will be enough to kind of scare him into never doing something like that again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I don't know what would compel me to take that extra step. I think it would be like I guess a cost, and there's people that can do it. There's people that can do it. I've been seeing people tag the people that can do it on Instagram, and I had that thought of like, oh yeah, do I want to go down that rabbit hole? Like, is that the fight I want to fight? And I feel like posting it online was like a good aspect of making it public
Yes.
and making sure that people knew that this could happen, and also like not protecting this person's face. So it's like if someone does recognize them, they will. But then I was like, the necessity to like publicize their name first and last and get their job taken and this and that. It's like, you're lucky. He's lucky I'm not doing that. He's lucky I'm not doing all
Yeah.
that. Really could make this his absolute worst. The year I'd make this the year that ruins your life, And I hope that this situation does impact you negatively. But luckily, I'm not going out of my way to like do the most, which is what he did.
Yeah.
Um,
No. I'm glad. I'm glad the way you handle it. I still think if there's a funny side to it, was what y'all said to him about long weekend and you by yourself, you alone. I was killing myself.
because it really the picture didn't add up. It's like, wait, you were walking alone and you saw five black women and you were like, oh, I must say something negative to them. Like that was the thing. Like not wow, pretty like, and we're all gorgeous people. So it's like for
Yes.
your mind to go where it went, it just tells me where your fundamental resting state is. It's not in a
Yeah.
good place. Not a good place. It's Sunday, man. The sun's out. Like even outside of Pride, the sun is out. Like you could play sports. Like you're so straight. Go play sports. Like you know what I mean? Like it was very funny. It was very disheartening. It was funny as well that like in the clip that he got, he like stumbled over. He's like, I like women. And like, he felt so like such a necessity to like make that clear that but he also like almost said men before he said women. And like that just made the video like for itself. Like when I watched back the clip, I was like, I know exactly how I'm gonna edit this because I don't have to do anything. He kind of called himself out. Like he called his own intrusive thoughts out. So very odd situation, but I think just in the context of what Pride is, it was a good
Yeah.
reminder for me because I mean, it was the first time that I walked the Pride parade. So there was a moment where I was like in the parade. Thank you. But there's a moment I was in the parade and I was like looking around and I was like, oh, I'm like, this is me now. And I do remember like many versions of myself that was like, oh, I'd never do that. Or like, I don't ever want to be the person that represents that. Even when I came to the place of like, okay, I am that, but like I'm a musician. So I don't want to cloud the two because of what like the worry of what people will think and this and that. And like overcoming that and being in the Pride Parade and being like, oh my God, like I'm representing it and I'm not even like really thinking about that's what I'm doing, but that is what's happening. And like accepting that and being okay with that and like actually seeing the impact and value in it. And then you're walking home from that. And then some guy is just like, are you trans? And I'm just like, wow, this is why we do it, I guess. This is exactly what it's about.
Exactly. No, you handled it very well. Like I said, I'm old school. I know how I would have wanted to handle it, so I'll just leave it to that. But we got music to talk about. Before we get into that, um, I just spoke with somebody who has been a treasure part of your life, Ebony Rowe, who is Honey Jam celebrating 30 years. And not just that, she is receiving her Order of Canada. You have been part of Honey Jam. What do you think about her getting her flowers 30 years and you being part of a very small select few?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to her on getting her Order of Canada. I don't think I realized that. I did know it was the 30th year of Honey Jam, though. And I intend to be there. I hope that nothing crazy happens on the calendar, but I believe that's August 30th. So very, very excited to celebrate that. And it's been a few years since I've been able to be back in the room and kind of just observe like how Honey Jam has been going. But yeah, Ebony has been a staple in the Canadian music industry, like my trajectory within it, just in the sense of I've done Honey Jam kind of at the beginning of what I would call a music career. It helped me understand like what it means to have like a music career in Canada and kind of what that circuit would look like, what, sorry, what the momentum would look like for a musician in terms of like the sorts of things that they would do to prepare for a show or to prepare for a release, and obviously, of course, to prepare for a live performance, like a show or like even just like a single song performance, which is what Honey Jam is. It is a showcase, and you kind of do all of this prep to do this one song, and it kind of represents the music industry in the sense that it is a bunch of work for like individual pieces of art that you release that like live forever and speak to like who you are, what you represent, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, Honey Jam is I know a lot of musicians who broke through it, who have gone through it, who have learned from it. Um, so I feel like what Ebony has done through Honey Jam has shifted the Canadian landscape musically, especially specifically for women, because Honey Jam is an all female showcase. Um, and so I think that as well, you have like a Black woman who's Bayesian, who has created this entity that recognizes women in music. And so a lot of times, you know, you're also getting the urban representation of women in music. You're not just getting like the pop music. So, you know, you think of the artists that you know of who've come through the doors of Honey Jam, you know, and you think of like maybe like all the pop girlies, like a Sabrina Carpenter and Charlie XCX, right? And then you see like that Toronto and Canada and Honey Jam, like there's this convoy of like that R&B vibe though, like Xana Ray and Jessie Reyez and um I'm thinking I was Nelly Furtado even. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's niche in its existence, what it highlights, but the people that it highlights are not niche, like they're people. It's just what are the entities that are acknowledging like those skills. And so I think Honey Jam brought a stage for the stageless, and light to the darkness of like, I guess, the ability for certain people to be seen, like women first, and then different variances of types of women. Um, yeah, it in a lot of ways, like that's overarchingly, and then the direct way, which is like literally like the programs that they had, like mentorship cafes, and like you sit down and Jessie Reyez is talking to a group, or Tasha the Amazon is talking to a group, and then like you do like vocal lessons with Elaine Overholt, and all these like this circuit, right? All of it, I think, is very fundamental to like when I look at what I'm doing now as a musician, I realize that like the early experiences of that, Honey Jam is one of the biggest, greatest ones. So it's beautiful to see, you know, Ebony get her flowers. If I feel that way, I'm I can only imagine how many artists do. And I've named a few that I know. It's a very like Vanessa Lou, I go by Lou, like even also from that program, and Charmy and Jordan Alexander, right? So there's a lot of people that have come through have come through those doors, and thinking of all the people whose names I don't know. And like I think even Marley came, like there's even more people. My sister did it. Like there's a lot of people that are like still doing their thing who did the thing. And yeah, I think it's like she's pretty fundamental to the landscape, but especially in that in the urban field, in the not necessarily mainstream field, and in the women of color field.
Amazing. Also amazing. One of the biggest reasons why we're speaking today, new music. So, you know how I like to make this official. What is the name of the new single? Love the video. And how is it representing you at this point in your incredible career?
So the name of the single is called Okay, 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 Okay. It's so fun. Like I feel like that's what it represents is um fun, expression, openness, not trying too hard. I think a lot of my old music is very important and speaks to important themes and did what it was supposed to do, and none of it is regretted. I think sometimes it's hard to realize that your narrative has changed and that the story that you're telling, it can't be the same all the time. That's like not what life is. And I've struggled with the concept that like what emanates from me these days is a little bit more celebratory, because sometimes I'm like, oh, like, is that important enough? Like, should I be like, you know, basically, for lack of a better term, like kind of emulating what I've done before and like following some sort of like blueprint. But the thing is, the reason it worked before is because it wasn't following a blueprint. Like And that is why it worked, is because there was authenticity in it. And so I'm really learning to like embrace the authenticity of the state that I'm in and how it is informing my music. I'm in I would say like a lot of like self-healing, self-actualization, self-realization. And I think I'm in a good part of it. And I think because of that, a lot of what I'm feeling, even the negative feels good. Even the like hard challenges feel positive. And it's hard to even imagine writing music from a space where I'm the victim or I'm focused on the issue, like I'm highlighting the issue and I'm stuck within the issue, because I feel like my entire progression right now is on like momentum out of doubt, momentum out of shame, momentum out of stagnance. Like that's the, that's kind of the train. And so I feel like the music is following that, and I'm embracing that it doesn't have to be like, oh, I put so many bars and two lyrics and da, da, da. And then did you hear the metaphor? But did you hear the metaphor? Like, it's like, did you feel how it felt? Like, one of the biggest lessons I've learned recently, and I hope that I continue to feel this, is that like music is mostly about feeling. And I've made a lot of intellectual music that I do think people feel. But I think that I reached a point where like making intellectual music wasn't what I was feeling. Like I'm just feeling other things, like everything I just said to you. And I'm learning how to like create out of that feeling and not out of like, oh, but there's this theme and it matters. And I need like this group of people to be aware of it. Like some of my music did come out of that because that's who I was. And that was how I felt. And like the context was, that's how far it went. But I've grown a lot. It's been over 5 years since the first project that people recognized, being 13th Floor, where a lot more of that music is politically charged. And I do think the celebration and the welcoming adversity and the like fighting being the victim is also like an important message, and is also a part of the story. And maybe somebody else right now, or many other folks right now, they're speaking to things and themes in a way that I have in the past, and that's who's supposed to, because that's what's emanating from them. I feel like I'm learning to kind of find balance in the music and then personally, but you can kind of see it through the music a lot. A lot of the music was like kind of more heavily one way. And I feel like I'm balancing out by finding like my sound outside of that. And it's much more predicated on feeling. Okay is very much a feeling and a vibe. I think about how people say okay and how it can mean so many things. But a lot of times when people say okay, like they're like, it's like they're hype manning you. Like, oh, okay. Like even if someone's just listening to a story and they're literally just giving you their ears, and you say something, they're like, okay, like they're processing. And it's a positive, it's like a positive affirmation of anything it could be, and it feels like. And so like in making a song, it just felt like that. Everything felt like a positive affirmation. I woke up, I look like this, like I make this kind of money, I smoke this kind of weed, I have these kind of friends. Like I'm not letting anybody like be like, oh, but did you think about, like, no, 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 not today. It's just all okay. And so that's what that song is. It's very much me finally being able to embrace that feeling of like, there's a lot of shit going on, but but we can also be okay as well.
I hope that if you come up with new merch, that you're going to have the okay as part of the merch. I think it'd be great.
Oh, thanks for that idea. I haven't even thought about new merch, but because actually this is the old merch,
I,
and I
I noticed it. I noticed it.
haven't worn this in so long actually. So it's good that you noticed it. There's like, I'm like, wow, I have a few of these. So maybe we'll do some a couple shows, but also some giveaways for the old ones. Cause yeah, I mean, in a couple months, I think we're gonna be in a new season with new music. And I think okay, as like a merch piece could be sick. I'm not gonna drop that idea.
I love it. Before we go, any shows coming up? Because one thing I see is it's like almost every other post you do, you're on stage somewhere doing something.
Yeah, there's a couple shows. It's actually a slow season this year, to be honest with you. When it comes to shows, like I think we met in what 2018,
Yeah.
and so I think you've seen the show circuit. I think this is the slowest year since maybe 2018 in terms of shows, but I think it's really good because the music that I've made in the time that I wasn't on all those stages is I can't. One thing I will say, I can't be grateful enough for the space that I'm in and the ability to keep getting better, quote unquote. And I don't even think it's about skills. I think that's what it was to me before. It's like, oh, well, how fast can I rap while still being understood? And now it's like I know how to like extract feeling into audible sounds. Like I know how to like go in a room and not shoot myself in the foot and not self-sabotage and like hear the production and work with it and not be like, okay, it needs to be about this. And let me sit in the back and write 8 bars before I even experiment. Like I know how to like go in the room and be like, ooh, pull the mic up, give me a take. And I know how to let myself feel it. And I listen back to the take and I'm like, there's magic in moments 11 to 16. There's magic in that. Let me feed off of that. Like I know how to do that now. And that to me feels like the best part. I'm grateful for the lack of, I wouldn't even say the lack of, but I think that there's things that forced me to find this, like with previous management walking away and then not having a super dense show year, which also might come from the fact that I took a step back. So my booking agent took a step back due to no management being in there to strategize. And all of that led to maybe bookings taking a step back. And, now I found myself with a great team. And I feel like the support is, we have a lot more, like I would say even more momentum because we had to take a step back and now we're finally moving forward. But I also, as an artist, took a step back in that time. And what I'm coming with now, I feel like is the missing key. It's like the thing that I needed and I didn't know that I needed it, which is I think I may have been losing the feeling a little bit when it comes to making music. I started over intellectualizing it. And I don't think I did that on the last body of work in 2023. I think that I was starting to do it in the interim. And thank goodness I haven't dropped anything yet because now what's happening, I just feel like it's like a gift. Like, here's another 20 years of great music making. Here's a couple new tips and tricks. You already made it, and here you go. Like, how lucky am I? So, anyway, shows, not that many. I am playing CEBL August 23rd in Ottawa, and that's like a basketball game. So, that's going to be super sick. I played that in 2022 in Ottawa, and I did like a 2-song thing, and now it's like an entire 45-minute set, and they have like a little festival. So, that's going to be super, super cool. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that I have on the books that's like logged right now.
You did the Raptors too,
I
correct?
did Raptors in January of this year. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because
I did Maple Leafs a little bit before that as well. Oh,
that's
no, a
it.
little bit
That
after that. Yeah, yeah. I did a Maple Leafs maybe like March or something. I did a couple of the sports games, so I'm looking forward to like maybe doing like a little Toronto Tempo thing. When the season
mm,
starts. That was actually the for Pride. It was their float. It wasn't a float, but their group that I participated in that I was in the parade with. And when they asked, I was like, absolutely. Like, I for sure want to, bring awareness and visibility to this. And also, me and my harassed friends were in the Pride Parade as well. And it was like, wow, like, the space we were taking up, I think there was a little bit of a void, at least in the section of the parade I saw. So it was cool to be able to like take up that space.
all right. So that's just we're throwing this out there to FIFA. 1 year from now, there's somebody here who can do a great performance during all that. So let's cross
Yeah.
fingers. Always, always so proud of you of everything you do. There's a reason why I call you my queen, and I'm looking forward to everything else that you're doing. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Say hello to your sister and the rest of the family for me, please.
I will, 100%. Thank you, Rudy. Thanks for always having me on. And I love the conversation we had today.